Bleh.
Death Proof. I know you don't like Death Proof.
Oh.
No, shut up.
Go ahead. What is it?
You don't think that the death scene when stuntman Mike kills Arlene, Jungle Julia, Shauna, Atlanta, when he drives directly into him, and Jungle Julia's leg chops off, goes flying.
It's fucked up. Okay.
The tire peeling off Arlene's face. I mean, it's amazing. Come on.
Finish. No. Is that all you have to say about it, or I'll tell you what I feel about it.
I think that, and especially the graphics on it are incredible for it.
You like the death scene. You just like the death scene in Death.
I love the movie itself,
right?
But I love the death scene in there. I mean, even the death scene at the end when they kill Kurt Russell, they just put the boot right in his face. Yeah, it's awesome. And I'll say this. All right. I always pick up this during that movie. There's a lot of people in horror movies and shit like that, and even thrillers and stuff like that scream. And it's never truly believable, usually. Kurt Russell, he gets shot, and he pours the alcohol on his arm, has the most believable scream, I think, in Hollywood. By far. It's so intense, his yell when he's when he pours the alcohol on, it's so believable. He's phenomenal. I mean, I love that scene, but I think the death scene in that is fucking awesome.
Here's my first of all, it's been over 10 years since I've seen any of.
And you got to revisit.
I got to revisit. I will. I'll revisit. I will. Everybody's been telling me to revisit Death Proof. I hated it when I saw it in theaters. Mind you, let me just explain. This was my experience seeing Death Proof in the theaters. I was first in line at midnight to go see Death Proof when it came out. And, Death Proof is part of Grindhouse. Grindhouse is over 3 hours long. And so we're sitting through, we're now a movie and a half in to, it's like early in the morning. We just spent all this time building up these characters, right? And then what does Quentin do? He kills them all and then does a 10-minute dialogue scene establishing brand new characters.
That's balls.
After 2.5 hours. It lost me. I was like, this is fucking stupid. I hated it.
You gave away, though, what ticked you off. Grindhouse is okay. It's okay. But I don't watch them together ever. They don't have anything really. I mean, there's one scene, but they really have nothing to do with one another. I understand it's supposed to be double feature.
No, but that's the concept, was that it was two movies.
I never watched it together. I don't.
That when I revisited them separately. And I know that Death Proof by itself, there's like the extended version. It's even longer. It's the structure of Death Proof is unconventional and, in a way, self-indulgent in a way that just does not work for the storytelling, especially with a Grindhouse movie, to be honest. Now, I know they do the missing reel bullshit. And it's, as a goof, as like a homage to like Grindhouse movies where it's missing a reel and using it as a plot device to sort of skip over some stuff that wasn't important anyway. But effectively setting up characters and then killing them and introducing us to new characters is a trope that works well when it's structured properly. Look at Psycho. We think we're with the same person. We're with Janet Leigh, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom. We're with her for the first act of the movie, thinking that she's the main character, and then she's killed. Drew Barrymore in Scream, same thing. We establish her, she's killed in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and we're brought in with a brand new set of characters. It's valid, but what doesn't work is that you're doing it in the middle of the fucking movie, and it's like essentially you have two short films. I mean, you don't because you've stunt Mike, but
I enjoy the buildup of it because it gives you a background on Mike, but it also makes you wonder what's going to happen in the second plot. You know what I mean? Because you know that he's going to go after these girls. So it makes you wonder, you know what I mean, what's going to happen.
I have to revisit the movie. I have to watch it with, I'll tell you this, the last time I watched it, it was before I made a feature film. So I need to really rewatch it. And because I got to tell you, after putting together like a feature film, I feel like there's so many movies that I watch with different eyes. It just changes the way that you look at things. And I need to, when I saw that movie, I saw it in 2000. I think I saw it the last time I watched it was 2010, actually. So it's been about 12 years.
Does time
that uninterested?
Does time in movies affect your opinion on it?
Like, sure. There are movies all the time that I revisit. There are movies, absolutely. There are so many movies where, like I was talking the other day, I've seen Street Trash probably about three or four times now, and I've watched them at all different times in my life. I watched it as a teenager, I watched it as a young adult, and I've watched it as, a 30-something. And every time I watch that movie, I see it in a completely different light, in a completely different way. And that's why it's worth to revisit things. And that's why, revisiting things as an adult, revisiting things as a father, revisiting, like, there's so many different ways that you can revisit a movie. I'm so deeply affected by movies that, like, where bad shit happens to children now because I'm a dad. Like, it didn't affect me before. So it's like, yes, the answer is yes, overwhelmingly.
Yeah, that's like Once Upon a Time in America. I've watched, like the director's cut and then the new restored version, which is even like an hour more long.
Wow.
I love it. I the time of it doesn't
you don't feel it. You don't feel it.
No, I don't. I think I really wish we would get the Sergio Leone complete version of it, because it still has never been.
That's his final film, right?
Yes, that was his final film, and he wasn't happy with it. You know what I mean? When it came out.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
If I hope one day, because I know Scorsese, he restored it. He was behind with, I forget what company. They took the original tapes and they made it. They preserved
they remastered it. They restored it,
and Scorsese helped recut some of it and added some scenes that were not in the original release. But I would watch the full Sergio Leone, because there is certain things that don't make sense, you know what I mean, that I think would be fleshed out better if they just
I saw it one time in college and I don't remember, it did not, I didn't even know what was going on.
That's one you should rewatch as well. That's one of my favorite films. It's just so you grow so attached to the characters, and it's really heart-wrenching, and some fucking really brutal scenes in there, really brutal, rape, crazy fucking rape scene and crazy deaths. It's a fucking phenomenal film. It's definitely not for the lighthearted. Dude, it's fucked up. But I would watch an entire Sergio Leone cut of that if it was around.